Hello and welcome back to Exploring Sussex, and today we are over in East Sussex and I'm going to take you to have a look around Hastings Castle. So to access Hastings Castle, it's just a short walk from the old town up here, and they've handily put these signs up telling you the history of the castle all the way through. So obviously I'll be discussing some of the history as we go around, but yeah, it's good that they've got this here because yeah, the temptation would obviously be to just Google stuff on your phone, but this is a more tactile experience. So it costs £6.50 the standard adult to go in, juniors are £5.65, under 3s free. A concession is £5.90 and a family of 4 £23.20. But the lucky thing is if you're coming in August or September, you get free sloe berries. Very sour. Right, let's have a look down this one. Quite small. Bit of a nothing really. I mean, yeah, probably not a very comfortable place to stay, especially if you're in that one there. But I guess they probably won't for long periods of stay. So the obvious reason this was built here is for its commanding views over the sea, and this was originally the location of an old Iron Age hill fort. So there was an East Hill fort over on East Hill, and we're on West Hill here, and there was a West Hill Neolithic or Iron Age hill fort. Some of the objects that have been found through archaeology are 6,000 years old here. So it's been in utilisation for quite some time. Obviously the famous builder of this castle was William the Conqueror. September 1066 he built a wooden fortification here. So obviously landing in Hastings, and this was his seat of power in England. Yeah, this was being under construction. It was October 1066 that the Battle of Hastings actually happened, so this was under construction almost immediately. The bits that we see now are through medieval reconstruction, and this was also used as a monastery much later in time. What we see now has been restored by the Victorians as a tourist attraction, and still a tourist attraction today. So this bit here we're seeing is the church or chapel of St Mary. So this was built in 1075, and it says here that some expert believe this scene from the Bayeux tapestry shows William outside the chapel on West Hill. This is an artist's rendition of what it would have looked like. Originally it was freestanding, but later developments actually it was incorporated into the curtain wall. We've seen this, if you haven't already seen my video, at Midhurst Castle. Very similar construction over at Midhurst as well. Obviously there's an actual resource here for the stones, so very good place for landing and building a castle, because we're literally sitting up on the stones that have probably been quarried to build the castle. Elsewhere in Sussex it's much more common, we do see it over here, is the use of flints. But yeah, like I said, this is all built up on sandstone, so yeah, there we go. Flints. Little secret passageway here. Where does this go to? Wow. Nowhere by the looks of things. Dead end, so maybe this was like a little copy storage. view over Hastings with that teeny little hole. Love the little it's always amazing, isn't it, on castles where you see the little window. You imagine there would have been a second floor up there, and somebody would have had that commanding view over the English Channel. And more about the church here. Square tower to the left of the footings is another one. Right, it was probably not part of the original church, but incorporated when the church was extended in the mid to late 12th century. The walls and ceiling of the nave and church would have been painted in bright patterns with coloured tiles on the floor in front of a large arch, richly carved, and a gilded partition known as a rood screen held in the high altar. So I read as we came up that there was another tower that probably would have sat there and fell into the sea. As you can probably tell today, I'm trying to, I've got a windsock on, but it's extremely windy. Probably helps if you're using a sailboat to get here, but not great if you're trying to film YouTube videos. There we go, we've got view out over Hastings. So this is the new town of Hastings. The old town is just down to the west. So we've done lots of old churches on the channel and a lot of Norman churches, and this is obviously one of the characteristics you find in a Norman church is this sandstone, probably cairnstone, come over from France and delicately carved. Amazing, isn't it, to think obviously this was 1066, almost 1,000 years ago, that somebody would have carved this. Obviously it's quite an erosive atmosphere up here. Another little room off. I'm guessing this may have been a ceremonial part of the church. Have a look in here. Not much to go, but you can actually see the more rounded features, more castle-like features here, because a bit like at Bramby, you can only see bits of the castle that are left, and then you use your imagination to actually work out what it would have looked like all those years ago. Actually, you can see a bit like Lewis Castle there, we've got the circular stone steps up there, so a bit more down here, so yeah, you would have gone up there and then gone in a circular pattern to get to the top. Let's head up to the top of the castle. So we've got a little bit of an overview of the castle right here. So we're right here at the north gate, and this is where the church would have been with the two towers. This tower here has unfortunately fallen into the sea, along with all of this section, including the keep, all gone. Yeah, so we're going to head up around this part. Right, top of the castle. Probably see a little bit more of it now that we're up here. Obviously they've got some kind of function room there, probably for some medieval days. That Hastings is very good for activity, and we've been here on several visits on TikTok for the events. They've actually got an event, they've got a parade happening down in the town later today. Another reason for me to come over and have a look around. So this was the east gate, and and right here we can see one of the defensive structures. So this would have been basically the ditch, and there would have been a bridge going across to access the castle. Obviously out of use now. And over there on West Hill, no, East Hill, over there on East Hill is the site of the other Neolithic fort. So this castle's been dismantled as well. I think it was 1216 they dismantled the castle, and it's also been attacked by the French. Obviously we're fairly close to France here, and they've come across twice in the 100-Year Wars and burnt down this castle. Have a quick look in here. Looks like it used to be a tower of some description and part of the wall defences. Less to see left behind these days. That is a dead end. So it may have even just been a storage room, but I would imagine because this is on the outer wall, this would have been arrow slits to fire across the ditch for the invading forces. It can't have been the best and most easily defendable castle for the French to have ransacked it twice. I mean, even though it is on this high location, I guess once they're up over there, then probably just the outside the walls, which we'll have a look at in a minute, there is quite a large area, so if they can get some wood across and some suppressing fire, I guess they could quite easily get to the walls and maybe breach them. Looks like another, I guess this would have been the tower for the gate tower, essentially. The gate being down in here in this slot. Bridge up in there. So a little bit more information on this board here. It's saying here that in the Bayeux tapestry the Normans are shown raising a mound of earth or motte and placing a timber building. So basically this was the motte that the Normans built, and that's where the timber structure originally would have sat. And across we've got the ladies' parlour over there. Across the ditch beyond the gateway would have been a sturdy wooden bridge leading to the ladies' parlour. The name possibly derives from Parlour, meaning field, with lady being a reference to St Mary, Our Lady's Field. It says during the Napoleonic Wars 1793 to 1850, the ladies' parlour was extended to take cannon to protect Hastings for another invasion at sea. And in World War II there was an anti-aircraft emplacement just outside the east wall, which is right here. We'll go and have a little look around. Extremely windy up here today, guys. I'm hoping the audio is gonna come out okay. So yeah, you can actually see the shape of the tower there, round, and we've just been inside on this one over here. Right, not much to see, but it's not an expensive entry fee, £6.90. I prefer the likes of Bramber Castle where it's free, but yeah, I mean, it's obviously needs somebody to maintain this and to keep it in good working order. So I'm happy to pay a fee to come in, even if there's not a huge amount to see. But what we'll do is we're just going to head out over to the outside of the castle. So just opposite the gatehouse we've got this field, the ladies' parlour. I'm guessing this would have been the area if you were going to be breaching the castle. This would be the place to do that from. There is a big ditch there, and they would have laid a bridge over to the gatehouse for entrance to the castle from this perspective. So it's right here, we've got the bedrock that the castle is built on, all exposed here. Probably the place that the stone for the building of the castle would have been quarried from. Now it's just a lovely place to come and relax on the sunny days with an amazing view of Hastings. So I'm going to end the video up here. I hope you've enjoyed our little tour of Hastings Castle. Apologies if the sound hasn't been great because of the wind. I've tried my best to minimise the sound issues, and I'd have loved to have got some drone footage, but way too windy, and yeah, sometimes hard to pick the day that you're coming to film on. Well, you can pick it and it can be sunny like this, and then the wind hampers it. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go down and subscribe to the channel. It will help me out sharing the channel with a bigger audience. And if you have enjoyed the video, then give me a thumbs up, and thank you very much for watching.